All right, so Darren, thank you so much for joining me today to talk about our work together. I am really excited to dive in, but before we do that, why don't you tell everyone about who you are and what your business is?
Oh, thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be here today. Mimi, I'm Darren Moore, owner of Between the Ears Health Coaching and Personal Training. I'm a national board certified health coach, and I empower busy middle-aged professionals and seniors to age confidently with health, vitality, and strength.
Yeah, also important.
Hmm.
Awesome. All right, so before we work together, tell me what was going on in your business, what was going on in your copy. Just tell me about what it was like.
Yeah, so I had invested in a copywriter before you, and this was maybe a year and a half, 2 years before I brought you on, uh, with the desire to get my message out to prospective customers for clients, and how I wanted that to show up was, increase sales, obviously. And I was also hoping to get people to hopefully sign up for my newsletter and just be inspired to want to reach out and work with me, because I felt, yeah, I wanted to make sure I had a message that spoke to my ideal client base. And I wasn't finding much success in that area. So I was kind of stumbling. So I either thought, is it my message or is it me? But I finally came to the conclusion I didn't think that I had the right message that aligned with what I really do, and therefore wasn't attracting the type of clients that I was hoping to attract to my business.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that you mentioned that because first of all, it does take it can take some work and some testing and refinement to
Mhm.
land on that message. But I also appreciate that you mentioned you had worked with another copywriter, right? And
Yes.
um, yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah. I did. I had worked with another copywriter, and actually, she had pitched to me a framework called Story Brand. Now, now, when I say that, it's not to say that I believe that that particular brand story brand framework of how she wrote my copy wasn't isn't something that can't be effective, but um, I think it still just landed on her hearing me, what my desires are, what I really do, my how I help people solve problems, and then accurately getting that translated into the copy on the pages. Somewhere there was a disconnect that where even when I read it, it just didn't feel like it was me, that it spoke to my brand, my way of working with clients, and so it was just a disconnect there. Yeah, so I was struggling with that for a while. Mm.
Yeah. Oh, so I appreciate that you share that because you're not alone in that. Not because StoryBrand can't be effective, like you say, but I have had people come to me who realize that the StoryBrand framework is a little too general. And so maybe that could account for that disconnect. So, yeah, so I'm glad that we were able to. I mean, I think you really brought something, and what we did in our work together was we honed in on it and we
Hmm.
polished it more, so your
Yeah,
message could land. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah. So going back to when you were maybe thinking of working with me, I want to ask if you had any hesitations, and if so, what they were. And even if you didn't, I'm just curious to know what made you say yes.
Yeah. So I did not have any hesitations because of my interactions with you leading up to the time when I decided that I was ready to have my problem solved. So, and that started with us meeting, at a professional event, getting to understand what you do. It was very, I thought it was very effective. You were very effective in communicating how you solve problems like I solve. So what stood out for me was your hearing skill, your listening skills, and your interest in really understanding like my brand, how I work, how I want to show up, that messaging. So because you did that from the moment that I met you, and then that translated to each interaction leading up to the time where I decided, okay, I think the problem is with my website that I need to solve was it was the person, not the story brand or whatever, because you were listening and hearing, and you had a very good ability to take that information and put it into copy. So you demonstrated that in small little ways from the first interaction that we met. That kind of, if we use, I guess, sales funnel speak, when I was cold, you worked me all the way through. So when I was hot and ready, I'd already was clear that I like your style. I like you. Again, it's very important to me that I have someone who listens. And so you demonstrated that consistently, and then you executed. Because then I got a sample of how you work. So that was also like a little bit of what went into my decision making. Looking at a little bit of your copy itself, and felt, oh, it's tight, it's clean, it gets to the point. And so it was like all those factors. So yeah, I hope that described it for you.
Yeah, thank you so much for saying that, Darren. I had the biggest smile on my face when you were talking.
Yeah.
Um, thank you. I really appreciate that. I really do. I'm actually I was trained in active listening in one of my early jobs.
Well, it shows. Yeah, it
Thank you.
definitely shows. It shows. It's a skill.
Yeah.
It's not something that just I guess maybe some people have a little bit of a gift of it, but I really think it's something that can be worked on and developed. And you obviously demonstrate. I can tell that you had that or something, because you definitely demonstrated very, very good listening skills and reflecting back what you heard from me, which is a big part of someone who has good listening, is how they reflect back. That lets the person know that, oh, you really did hear me, and and so I know that I'm being heard and seen, and that's really important for me. Also, when I went into my decision about working with you, you had to make me feel comfortable that, okay, she's hearing me, she sees, she knows what I'm trying to do, and yes, I like that. That's important to me.
Yeah, I totally understand that. And I really take to heart like what people are saying, what they want, and that it really directs the strategy behind the copy and like behind the work overall.
Hmm. Yeah.
Which is why I think, I mean, I always try to practice active listening, but it's definitely a part of my process, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep that good work there.
Thanks, Darren. So speaking of process, I'm just wondering about what the process of working together was like for you, if anything stood out about working with me specifically, if anything, if you had like a favorite part. So yeah, so tell me about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a couple of the highlights was, okay, now after we had our discussion and discovery, and spent some time with our call understanding what it is I'm trying to accomplish, understanding what my pain was, and so that was number one. Then the second thing was when you described your vision, your step, your process of how we're going to create that. When you said, well, let's hear what your current clients, that's where you want to start. So that was a huge shift for me. So I appreciated that, because that's something that the previous person didn't do, which was we just kind of abstractly talked about the problems that I solved, and some language. I don't know. It just was kind of, we just were talking about it. And it seems very simple. Like after you explained it to me, I was like, oh, that makes sense. That's right. Yeah, we need to be creating this copy based off of the information from my satisfied customers, people who are my clients working with me, and understanding it should come from their perspective to help shape the language, and not in my head, or
Yeah.
not your head. and
Yeah.
not even just in your head, right? So it's
Yep.
one thing if I would hire you to say, okay, you asked me about how I help people, how I solve people problems, and that's kind of what the other person did, and then that person wrote. You took the time to understand me, my
Hmm.
business, how I solve problems, yada, all that. And then you said, let's give me a couple of your clients who are satisfied with your work. And
Hmm.
let me get their perspective, use their words, right? Because that will
Hmm.
really use that as the framework. And so the fact that you added that part of your process was another like, okay, yes, this is what we should have did before. And yes, that makes sense. And so that was another huge part of your process, getting that customer information and using that to help inform. Now, yes, you did use, we used my words and my thoughts. And actually, it turns out there was some overlap in what they said. So it wasn't like they brought things that were different, but it was just an important part of the process, which absolutely it made it not only helped inform and create the beautiful copy that you developed for me that we did together, but it had another added benefit that I didn't realize till after the fact, which it helped me and help shape my message and be more clear and concise and when I'm having my discovery calls or if I'm out meeting potential clients at events, I now am able to articulate my message much more cleanly, much more in a way that does speak to that person out there who I'm trying to solve their problems. I know what words, the copy, words, I go back and forth
Same
to
thing.
use, right,
Yeah.
to use that, that's it. And so now I've got the added benefit of it helping me again, not only my website represents my messaging, but I am now when I'm walking and I have to go around the world when I'm out and about explaining what I do, and people ask me questions like I'm much more confident, and I have the words. I have much better words, and they feel aligned. They feel good when I say them. Before, when I had some words from the previous copy writer, it used a lot of language around weight loss, heavily weight loss focused. Oh, and I cringed. And I never, I mean, I brought up weight loss in her discovery call with me, but only to just share that I went through an experience of weight loss. And so, yes, if there's someone who is wanting to make a decision to work with me from the basis of me trying to get a sense that I've walked in their shoes. Yes, that is, I have walked in a weight loss journey shoes. So I don't mind saying that, but that's not what I've learned in my 40 years or so since losing all that weight, that's not the focus. And I don't, this is totally different. And that's not what I, who I am, what I do. Yes, I do help people change their body composition if they're wanting to change body composition. Maybe they want to get more lean muscle and reduce body fat. I'm okay there, but I'm not a weight loss person. And that's a whole nother industry, a weight loss person who sells that, and I don't. So that was really, really important how, you heard that and now I have better words that when I'm describing what I do, it's not only represented on my website, that who I am, how I help, and the problems I solve, but now I even have better language so that I can feel comfortable talking about it to people, and I can say it with confidence, and that I don't feel icky. I feel
Yeah.
icky when I talk about weight loss stuff. Yeah, it makes me feel icky.
Yeah, yeah, it's not you. It's not the core of you and
Hmm.
what you do. Yeah,
Yep.
so there are two things I really love about what you said. And the first is how you appreciated the customer research and the time that I spent with it that I did. And that is one thing I really wished more people did. Because
Mm-hmm.
conversion, everybody wants copy that converts. And yeah, like I get it. The conversions are good.
Hmm.
But so much of what goes into getting the conversions is starting with happy customers and talking to them so that you don't, exactly like you said, I think one of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to come up with what their customers would say. It's like, no,
Right.
just ask them. Just ask them. And often people, like happy customers, are happy to tell you. So
Yeah.
thank you for pointing that out. The second thing that I really love, and I love it when this happens, is how our work together not only gave you the coffee, but you're clear about who your ideal client is because of that same customer research. And I know
Hmm.
exactly what you mean because I'm the same way because I talk to my clients. I can, there are certain like phrases where I'm like, oh, like, yeah, interesting. We might be a good match then. Or certain
Yeah.
phrases where I'm like, okay, maybe not right now. So I really love that our work gave you that clarity.
Absolutely. I'm so grateful for that. Found a
Yeah,
lot of value there.
great. So what other results have you gotten from our work together? I know we've talked a little bit about
Hmm.
it, but is there anything
Yeah.
else? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So something else that I was let's go back to the website itself, right? So my vision on my website, and I know that it's going to take time. We just did the work on the copy. In addition, with you connect me with someone who did SEO
Hmm.
optimization for me and had my website optimized, and I love that process. I loved how you worked with uh, the
With
SEO. Christy, I don't know if we want to mention
with
Christy.
Christy, yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, I want to say that was great, great partnership, great collaboration. And so I just relaunched the new version of the website in December. So we've got a quarter or so of information. So one of the things that was important, like I said, I want to hopefully start to see, more visitors to the website, hopefully from the
Hmm.
SEO. I know that takes time. And then also convert as far as at least getting them to want to talk to me, right?
Hmm.
The conversion for me at this stage is my desire is someone goes to the website, reads my story, my copy, and from that, they're either motivated to want to sign up for my newsletter or they want to talk to me and have a discovery call. So, what was in one of the metrics that I was looking for was engagement time, I think it's called. Now, I may
Yeah.
be saying this wrong, but what the Google Analytics can tell me, what it's told me is how long people are staying on my page. To me, I may be wrong. That tells me that if it's low, they go to the page, they look a little, they read a little bit, and depending on how engaged they are, they'll either click off or they'll stay a little longer and read a little longer. So for me, the numbers that I got before, I was averaging like between 20, 40 seconds or so before the work you did. And now it's over 2 minutes
Oh, wow.
of
That's
time.
really high.
That's really high. So I want to let you know that. Now, again, I could be wrong, but my understanding is that means that
Yeah.
they're on the page and they're reading, and I can see which pages they're taking, and it is the landing page. So my home page, they're coming to the page and they're staying there longer. So we've got some data there. So that I'm grateful for that, and I'm hoping that'll continue to. That's one thing I want to share with you. And just in general, my SEO, well, my hits to the page have increased organically. I still got some work to do, but it takes time for. I know how Google works. When you make changes, it takes time for things. But it has gone. It jumped. It doubled. My
Oh, wow.
organic search has doubled
Nice.
since then. So we're on the right track there. I know I want to have some more work to do around. Um, I'm looking at possibly doing a blog. That's next. Do some blog posting and other things that'll help drive traffic. But that's what I got before and after. Also, um, in this closing quarter, I've had four people directly that who I converted who they did hear about me from word of mouth, but as often the case, when people are told about a service that someone provides, sometimes people like to just go and visit their website or just to have a more additional, like just a little bit more additional information. So I'm not going to say that just the copy did it. that converted, or was it just the person that referred? I'm going to say that it was a combination of both, because all four of these people, within a month after you helped with the website, gave me direct feedback that during the discovery call that they also went looked at my page and said it spoke to them. So they found elements of it that spoke, that furthered their confidence, that they thought that I would be a good fit, that I could help them on their journey. And like I said before, thanks to our work together, during that discovery call, when we got to the point where they were ready to hear really, and I had to move into sales mode about, closing and talking about, how I help how I can help them. I pretty much used our copy and our talk around, and in that process. So that
Mhm.
also helped. And another big piece of that helping was, before I'll finish with this, before I focused a lot on this, on my features, and you helped me shift that I need to be talking about, and our website reflects that, the benefits of how I can help. And that's huge. I never thought about that, but you did that. And I use that language now in that discovery call, right? That's pretty similar to what's on the copy on our website in my calls, to just seal the deal, to close, as they would say. And this past first quarter of 2025 was my best first quarter, my business. So I doubled my revenue from year last year. So yeah,
Oh
so
my
I'm on the right track.
goodness. Darren, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that.
Hmm.
Wow, that is so many awesome results. I'm still processing.
Yes, yes,
I'm
this is my best first quarter.
Congratulations. That's awesome and you deserve it. And I agree. It can be hard to isolate the effect of one part of your marketing. And I know a big part of your marketing is networking locally. And I do agree. I think the networking and the website go together because, as you say, the
Hmm.
first thing people do when they get your name is they enter it into Google and they read the website. So it
Right,
complements the work that you're doing.
that's the word.
And I would venture to say that the marketing that you do, the networking, because you're great at it and you show up for people. I love your community walks.
Thank you.
Um, and the website, they make the discovery call easier because if someone is on, like by the time they're on that call, they are partially sold.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah,
Agreed.
yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. Good work. Yeah. Thank you so much for your help. I mean, I'm. It was definitely. I thought I was making a smart decision to invest in your work, and you absolutely delivered 150%. I got more of it than I thought I was going to get. I really thought that I was just going to get a similar experience as before, meaning just you'd have a meeting with me, and then from that meeting start writing copy. But that's but because it wasn't, and I was part of the process. And again, like I said, interviewing my current clients, and myself, and even giving me a little training through education. So I got some
Uh-huh. Yeah.
education. So that's a value that I wasn't expecting to get some education out of this. Yeah, definitely. I was worth investing in, and I look forward to um, uh, uh, your services in the future. We're not done because I only, had you polish up a couple of pages. So I have some more. I'm looking at possibly having you do some email marketing with me. I think that needs to be polished up and changed. And I believe you do that as well. You offer email marketing copy, because I have copy that I want to have that polished up as well. So yeah, we'll see. I'm looking forward to more collaborative work, more work in 2025.
Yeah. Yeah, I do email marketing, so we can talk about that in the future. But
Mhm.
thank you so much, Darren, for chatting with me, and I am so thrilled for you and the awesome results. And I'm looking forward to hearing how things go for you as well.
Thank you so much, Mimi. My pleasure to speak with you today.